Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wednesday video. I'm Marg from Creative Stamping with Marg. I have a fun layout for a card that I saw made by another demonstrator, and I thought we'd give it a go today, and lots of news on my desk. So let's go down to my desk. All right, there we go. As you can see, I have the retiring in colors, the ink pads on my desk there. I have shown you several times, so I'll move this out of the way. So these are the retiring in colors: Pretty in Pink, Petunia Pop, Peach Pie, Summer Splash, and Shy Shamrock. So if you're wanting any supplies to do with these, the ink refillers, the stamp pads, the blends, the cardstock, any of the designer series paper, you'll need to get on that, because as of May, beginning of May, these colors will be gone. Okay, that's just a reminder about those. The other things I have on here is the new paper pumpkin is called Lakeside Retreat. It is 9 cards, each of 3 designs with coordinating envelopes. It is going to coordinate with a brand new suite that's coming out in the new catalog that comes out in May, called Waterside Retreat. So that's exciting. It looks like it's almost a masculine kind of card with lake views and things like that. Your classic ink spot for this one will be a new in color, which is called Peaceful Pine. So that's exciting too. It's a beautiful green. And the dies that coordinate with the next 3 months is called Wonderful Scenes Dies. The number is 168665. It's $18, and those are the dies that you would get. And they coordinate with this Lakeside Retreat, which is April's. So they'll coordinate with April, May, and June paper pumpkins. Okay, so that's the paper pumpkin. Product of the month. This is the new product of the month for March, which I have shown you. So it's still in stock. You're still able to get it with $100 order. You can add this on for $5. So it's a really cute stamp set, and I've seen lots of people using it for Easter cards with the bunny and the duck or goose and the fawn. So nice stamp set. The product of the month from February was Painted Illusions paper. That's it right there, and I've used it several times. So beautiful paper, lots of beautiful, very muted colors, just gorgeous paper. Yeah, I've used it quite a bit. So that is still in stock. If you haven't gotten that, that's a nice one. And then another $100 order and you would be eligible for this stamp set. So 2 choices there for right now. The other ones are all gone. And on that note, with the Painted Illusions paper, I do have a card kit to go, which is 4 cards using that paper. And you would get coordinating envelopes. You get all the die cuts, you get all the paper cut and scored and embossed. If there's embossing, you get the ribbons, you get all the embellishments. The only thing you have to do is do the stamping yourself. And in my PDF, I tell you which stamp sets I've used for each greeting. And if there's anything in the inside, I tell you what I've used. So you can use what I use, or you can choose your own stamps to do these layouts. So you need to contact me either through my email, which is mrgorn@shaw.ca, or my website, which is margaretgorn.stampinup.net, and I can get those mailed out for you. The card kit is $20, and if I'm shipping it anywhere in Canada, it would be an extra $5. Okay, what else do I have to tell you? Oh, there is a virtual album retreat coming up, April 29th. So this is, if you're familiar, they did a album retreat before where they do, album pages, and the supplies are phenomenal, what you get with this. It is $340, which sounds like an awful lot, but the retreat lasts April 29th, 30th, and May 1st, so 3 days. And you're making, I think, 12 layouts. And you get stamp sets, you get all the paper, you get just all the supplies you need for all of these. And I have a feeling they're using a lot of very interesting things. I can see little pockets here. It looks very interesting. If you're into scrapbooking, this is an awesome, awesome retreat. Okay, let's get on to our card. So today, I saw a demonstrator. Her name is Laura Beecham, and it's Laura's Creative Pages. She demonstrated this, and this is the layout. I know I showed you sort of a map one other time, so I'm going to leave this up in the corner so that you can see this. This is the designer series paper that she used, and then she used strips of black in between to make them pop off the page. So we're going to alter it a little bit today, but it's the same idea. Now, her suggestion was you use a piece of paper that you don't care about, so this was just a scrap that I had on here, to mount your pieces onto. So if you have retired paper or paper you're never going to use, cardstock, this is the time to use it. I have chosen this retired piece, which was copper clay, and you're not going to see this, so that's okay. So this is 4 by 5 1/4, and I'm going to put my pieces on it. You can see this uses various sizes of designer series paper. Today I am using, because I have these scraps on my desk, I am using paper that is in the last chance list, Gathering Together. So it was this fall paper that had all the leaves, but the opposite side of the leaves is just more generic. So this is what I've chosen, and these are all scraps that I used. So I've got this piece, and the other side was the green stripe. So you just need to cut your pieces according to this. Sorry, I have to figure out which way these go. And they're just going to be laid on just like this, and we'll follow her pattern exactly. So it's just like that. So that's my idea for this. And like I said, you're not going to see this color come through at all. You're not going to see it. Then I have another piece. This card, I'm putting an extra piece behind it. So this piece is basic beige, and it is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it's going to go on the front of our card behind this. So you're just going to have a little edge of it sticking out. And my card base is Early Espresso, 5 1/2 by 8 1/2, scored at 4 1/4, just a regular fold like this. So this piece will be on top, so you'll just get that little edge of Early Espresso, and then this will be on top, and you'll just get that little edge of basic beige. So we'll work on this first. Just going to get my silicone mat so I don't make a mess on my grid paper here. And we'll get gluing this on, and I'll just show you the easiest way I found it, and she did it the same kind of way. I am going to use my liquid glue, and I'm going to start with the top corner. So this piece is 1 by 2, and I'm just going to glue it on, and you're going to glue it right to the edge at the top and right to the edge at the bottom. So you're not going to see this copper clay at all, just like that. Okay. Then we're going to glue this piece to this corner. This piece is 2 3/4 by 2. And again, if you're using paper that has pattern on it, make sure you're aware of the direction of your paper. And there's the other side of that paper. It's kind of nice. Okay, so with this one, I'm putting it right on this right-hand upper corner, right to the edge, right to the top, so I don't see the copper clay coming through. Okay, then I'm going to do the bottom 2 pieces. So this piece is 2 1/4 by 3, and don't worry, I will have all these measurements underneath the video. And I also am leaving that, well, I'm calling it a map of how we cut these pieces and put them on, so that you can screenshot it if you want, or you can just come back to the video and look at it again. Okay, so there's that one, and then I'll do this bottom corner. So these pieces, like I said, a lot of these were just scraps that I had left over. You can see, well, you can't see, but I have a whole pile of small scraps here that I was sorting through and looking for pieces that I wanted to use. So, And for this one, I decided she used black strips, quarter inch black, basic black cardstock strips on hers. I'm going to use brown with mine. I pulled out early espresso, and I think it's going to look really nice with this paper. Okay, so this is the piece that you would have to eyeball it to see if it was right. So instead of doing that, I left that piece out, and I have my 1/4 inch strips. This is an interesting thing too, because a 1/4 inch by 11 gives you all you need. You need 1/4 inch by 4, and it goes right there. You need 1/4 inch by 3, goes right here. You need 1/4 inch by 2, it goes right here. And you need and you need 1/4 inch by 1.5, and it goes here. So, and then you have just a tiny little piece left over of your 11 inches, so it works out really good. What I'm going to do, what I found worked for me, was I put this piece across in the right spot, and then I know where to glue this last piece. I butt it up against there. So I found that that worked for me. And also what worked for me is I put my glue right onto this card piece, because it's kind of hard to put it onto your 1/4 inch strip. So I put mine on here. And if your strips stick off, we can turn this over and we can trim them at the end, or if they aren't quite straight, you can see mine is going to stick off, but that's okay. So now I can glue this piece on here. This piece goes this way. I did like the leaf side too, but for all intents and purposes, this isn't I didn't want this to necessarily be a fall card, so I thought, no, I'm not going to use the leaf side. Now I just want to make sure I'm not going to see that copper clay at all. And then that makes that piece straight and in the right position. So then you can just go ahead and glue the rest of your strips on. So I just went ahead and just put glue here. Put this one on, and it just butts up against the other, just like that. And down here, just like that. And then this piece, okay, is the shorter one. Just like that. I think it's a really neat idea. Sort of a window pane kind of idea, I guess. She did some great ones, just really different scraps of paper that she had on her desk, and I thought, wow, she's incorporated a lot of different papers. They're not from the same package of paper, and she's just made them look really cool together. Sorry, this one needs to go down a little bit and over. And like I say, I'm just going to let that sit. I like the way the brown looked on here. I did try it with the black, and I do have black strips cut, but I just thought it was almost too stark. It made it, I don't know, I didn't like it. So I thought, well, I can try it with the dark brown, with the early espresso. Okay, we're just going to let that sit for a minute so that I will trim the edges of that off after. We can work on the rest of our card. Our card base is here. I'm going to glue this piece on because it's going to go behind there. And I had got some ink on my fingers, and I see I got some ink on this, so we'll glue that part down because it doesn't really matter. You're not going to see it. So we're going to put that down, and that piece again is, this piece again is 4 1/8 by 5 3/8. So it just gives you that little edge of the early espresso sticking out. And for the inside, I used the textured note dies, which again, if you know me, they're one of my favorites, and they are on the last chance list. And they are marked down to $34.40, and they are still available. So this is a keeper. I'm not ever going to get rid of these, I don't think. So I used one of the dies to cut this piece of basic beige, and I used the leaf from Greenery Lane. I used the leaf stamp, and I stamped it off twice and then stamped it on the corner here. So that's going on the inside. And I used that stamp set and the dies from Greenery Lane. And I used, for my front, I cut the greeting out of our Stylish Shapes dies, Love and Hugs. So that came from here. And that's what's going on the front. And from the die set with this, Greenery Lane, there's a beautiful die, a leaf die. This one right here. I used it, and I cut it out of gold because there's gold on here. I also cut it out of the, what was this called? This bronzy, I think it was brown. It's still available online. Earthen Tone Metallic, so it's that sort of coppery brown that went with this suite. So I also cut one that color, and I just didn't know which one I was going to use. But I'm going to glue this on the inside, and I didn't have an extra strip of paper. I do have some 1/2-inch strips here. I see this one right here. I could put that in there like that and that. That would be nice. Whoops, backwards. That would be nice. Or I can use, that one doesn't show up, so I don't think I would use that one. But again, I think any of the papers that you chose would work. And I'm going to put this up a little bit if I'm going to put a little strip of paper on the bottom. I'm just looking at what my scrap pile looks like here, and I think that's the only 1/2-inch strip I have that I would use to go across the bottom. I have this one. We didn't use this pattern, so we couldn't do that. I have this one. I could cut it, but it's sort of blah. I kind of like this one because it has a little, the one I actually liked more is the one that, where is that piece? What do I have on that piece? Oh, I don't have an extra piece of that. I really like this piece here. That's okay. I think we'll do this one. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to move that off my silicone mat because I'm going to use it. Put my card here, and I lay my strip down so I know how far along I need to put my glue. And then it's not gluey hanging off the end and being cut with my scissors. And I'm just going to place this in here. That looks good. Whoop. There. And I'm going to trim that. Get my scissors here. I hope everybody is experiencing more spring-like weather than we are. We have, it's snowing, and the weather, the temperature has dropped here. It's really, can't make up its mind if it wants to be spring or not in Alberta. So it's interesting, as always. Now, this piece should be set by now. So I'm going to just go along and trim off these little ends that are hanging off. Like that. This piece. Like that. And this one. Like that. Okay. Hopefully that is nice and clean on the front. I'll turn it over. We'll have a look. That looks good. I'm going to put it on here. Now it does look like I can see a little bit of that copper clay there, and I didn't want to see anything like that. So I just need to take a little sliver off here. I didn't get that piece up high enough, really. There, I think that's better. Okay, so I'm going to put it on there like that. And my thought was, there's my greeting. And I was going to put this behind it. I could put my greeting down here. I could put this way. Maybe that looks better. Like that. And like I said, I also cut the earthen textured one. Earthen Tone, I think it's called, the brown. I don't know. I like that one. I kind of like the gold one. It brightens it up a little bit. And then I thought I do have these embellishments I was thinking of putting on the flower accents, just because they're nice shiny gold. I thought they might look nice on here. So I'm thinking I'm going to stick with the gold, and I'll keep this leaf for another card. Okay, so this is going up on dimensionals, and I will tuck, oops, I will tuck that leaf underneath it. And Love and Hugs I thought could be a sympathy card. It could be just I'm thinking of you, a get well, or just I'm sending you a card because I'm thinking about you. Anything like that. So it's very kind of, I'm just thinking, where do I want to put this? I'm covering up my, whoopsie, sorry. Just wanted to see, do I want it like that? Do I want it like this? I think maybe I want it that way. So I think I will put this down here, kind of centered here, like that. Guess I should glue this on the front. That looks good. I'm going to glue this onto the front of our card. You could put this up on dimensionals if you wanted, but I think I will just do mine flat. And again, you're just getting that little peak of the basic beige coming out, but I liked that it had that extra layer there. Didn't look quite as good to me when I laid it just flat on the early espresso. I do have a sample to show you that I didn't put a layer behind, so you'll be able to see that. Maybe, I don't know, sometimes I want to put this kind of on top of that. Maybe I could put it like that on top. I think I might. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on the stem, just like that. And if I put it up like that, I'm thinking I might want a little strip of an dimensional on that so that I can lift up the leaves a little bit. So what I do, I go along the bottom of my dimensionals and I just cut a little strip like this. So what I'm going to do is put a little bit on that top leaf, so not very big, but it'll still make it on the same plane as our greeting. So I just cut a little strip like that, and I might put another one on a couple of the other leaves so that they stand up a little bit. These solid leaves are easy to do. There, and then one maybe over here. Let's see. There. Maybe I just want to see if I pick this up again, and I'm laying it down, that one, and maybe this one over here. Okay, so you see how we can use our dimensionals. Just cut them in little, I don't know if you can even see that, in little strips, and they work out pretty good. And then just peel your backs off, and I've got a little glue on the stem already. Okay, more. Getting the little strip off is hard. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to put it glued like that, and then, oh, something came off here. Where'd it come off of? This one right here. Stuck to my finger instead of where it was supposed to be sticking. Okay, there you go. There. So the leaf is on top of our layer, but I've popped up the rest so that it stays. Okay, that looks really good. I really like that. All right, now let's see. I'm going to put some embellishments on here, and these are really nice and flat. I love these embellishments because they are so flat, and I'm thinking I might even put one right there, and you know, one might be all you want. There it is there. Love and hugs, and open it up. So simple card, lots of fun, great way to use up your scraps, and doesn't take long once you've got your plan in place. You can see I don't have these on here very good. You can see my white underneath, but if I put them on the right way, they would have been all right. But there's the measurements, and it's just a 1/4 inch strip that you're putting between. So I'll leave that there. There's the card. And I did make another card with the black and no layer behind it. So this is definitely retired, very retired paper, but I had lots of pieces of this left. So it came from the same package. I did use black strips, and it is on a black card base. So there isn't anything behind this one. This one has a layer behind it, so it looks a little bit different, but that is, you know, simply your choice, whatever you'd like. So there's the 2 cards that I made today. And thank you, Laura, for showing me how to make that and posting that map that we can follow. And I will, when I take my pictures, the pictures with the video, you'll see that this picture will be in with the card so that you'll know what we've done. And the stamp sets, just to reiterate what I used Greenery Lane dies and stamps. And I also used the Stylish Shapes for this. And is that Stylish? I'm trying to think of Nested Essentials or Stylish Shapes. I can never remember. I thought I had it here on my desk, but I don't. And I used these dies that are in the Last Chance List, Textured Notes dies for the inside. Okay, I hope everybody has a great week. I sure appreciate your thumbs up, and I hope to see you next week.